All right, welcome to another episode of the Big Blue Report featuring that guy, two-time Super Bowl champion, former Giants defensive captain. Man, oh man, oh man. Jonathan Casillas. The birthday boy. The birthday boy himself.
How about it?
Jonathan Casillas, the Professor Ryan Darlington. I'm Randy Zellea from backsportspage.com. And guys, this is a listener-supported podcast supported by you, the Giants fan. 2026 Giants apparel available now at NFLshop.com. Click on the link below. Get your gear today. And gentlemen, OTAs is still going on. It's riding along. And apparently we are inviting 67 wide receivers to camp this year.
Yeah.
And JC's coming out of retirement to play receiver. And
right.
Ryan.
Sure.
We're carrying. We're gonna bring 14 receivers on the 53 this year.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
That's about right. That's about right.
Man, it's comical at this point, right?
But it's awesome, though. I mean, if you think about it, it's really exciting. You see some of the names we've got in there, and it's not a bunch of schlubs. We're not hoping that we've got guys that can play. We know we've got guys that can play, and it's just a matter of fitting them into the system. Who's going to fit the best? We're making decisions between, guys like OBJ and Juju Smith-Schuster now, and Darrell Mooney and Calvin and Austin. I mean, these guys are not no names. These guys have had success in the league. So it's, I don't know that we've got like our signature number one, and we're not sure he's going to start the season. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's going to start on the pup. But at the end of the day, we've got a very serviceable receiver core, and I'm kind of happy about that.
But that's the thing. I'm like, that means that for sure he's not starting the season, neighbors. He's not going to be ready for the season start. So that's my whole thing. Of course, I'm excited about OBJ, my guy, coming back. And we've all been talking about this. Literally every Giants fan across the country has been talking about OBJ coming back. The rumors that started, I don't know when that started, probably even a few years ago when that started. So people are happy.
Yeah.
He is, of course, a phenomenal talent. He's not the guy he used to be in ways that are not as great on the football field, but that are great off the football field, because he does provide that stardom off the football field. He does provide that locker room presence of a seasoned veteran Super Bowl champion that before, when he was with the Giants, that wasn't his title before. He was a young, kind of immature, very talented, no question. Nobody ever questioned OBJ's talent when he was in New York. Now that's the question. Is he a capable number two? Is he a very serviceable number three? Because where does he actually fit at on the depth chart with the healthy Malik Neighbors that is performing like we know Malik Neighbors can perform, because he's Odell of old, basically, just a little bit bigger. Knock on wood, hopefully, this is not the same type of trajectory in terms of injuries with Malik Neighbors. Like I said, knock on wood. But I love the fact that OBJ is back home. I don't even know how to even put it into context, because OBJ didn't leave New York on good terms. It wasn't like, my contract was up, we couldn't agree, and then he left. No, it was like not on good terms back then. And a lot of people had a sour taste in their mouth about the situation.
Sure. Yeah,
he signed a new deal in 2018, and after the season they moved him. So that it was ugly. But JC, did you see everything that transpired with OBJ on Saturday?
Yo, what's so crazy, Randy? I didn't even see him.
Oh wow!
Right?
He wasn't there long. He wasn't there.
I got there like kind of right before the dodgeball game started. So I had to go right to the place to get my bag and my gear. Put a little vodka in the Gatorade bottle.
Sure.
And then I went to go see my guy. He's a vendor, so I didn't go right down to the field right away. So I went around the stadium in the hallway. So I was up there for like 10 minutes, and then I made my way down to the field. And I forgot who I asked. I was like, "So did OBJ not show up?" They was like, "Oh no, he's here." I was like, "Where is he?" And I just didn't see him. And then he DM'd me later on, like, bro, I was looking for you. I ran up to somebody else. I thought it was you. And I'm like, yeah, how I miss my guy? Like, he's the only player that I actually played with, one of my teammates. So it sucked, but at the same time, he's back in New York. I'm gonna try to go to the facility and see him in person soon. That'll be good.
Yeah. I think the thing I like most about it. Sorry, Randy, go ahead.
No. I was about to say on Saturday, what ended up happening was when I got there like right around 4:00. They were waiting. There was 2 huge lines waiting for his autograph signing. There might have been about.
Was he there already by 4:00?
He just was getting there. Like all the rest of the Shark reporters were all like waiting by him because they were smelling blood. OBJ's here. They want to make sure they get the first comment from him. And we saw him arrive, and when he arrived, he came there. He was heavily securityed, and he signed every autograph. He took every picture, made everybody happy. He came down onto the field, said hello to a couple people, and they said he was gone probably by about before the home run derby even started.
Yeah,
maybe
I definitely missed him.
Maybe before dodgeball. You know who I was like so happy to see, and he came over to me and tapped me on the shoulder and picked me up and gave me a hug, and like he actually picked me up was Prince Amukamara.
Hey,
I have a love-hate relationship with him.
Oh boy, here we go.
Like every time he sees me, he says the most. Like we gotta shoot at each other first before we say hi to each other. We gotta shoot a couple jabs real quick at each other.
Sure.
Because he was my locker mate, bro. He was my locker mate. Like he sat right next to me I guess he was with me for 2 years when I was in New York. He sat right next to me and he talked shit to me every day. And it wasn't like to fight or anything like that.
No,
he was just so like no. I don't want to use my daughter's favorite word to say annoying, but he was just like a thorn in my side. Like, bro, what do you got to say today, bro? Oh my god. But that's my guy, though. You know what I'm saying?
I came over to him. I said, "What would you want to come on the pod?" And he goes, "You have my number." And he goes, "I'd love to have on any time." He's like, "I love." He goes, "This is how he says." He goes, "I love talking to JC."
Yeah, he's gonna come on and do nothing but like break your balls for 25 minutes.
He's gonna shoot at me for at least 25 minutes. We did 3 minutes of football talk in there.
And you know who else said the same thing? And JC, when it's funny, I called JC on Sunday, and he said the same thing to me that I was about to say to him. Was I got tracked down. I went over to say hello to DeMontre Moore, and DeMontre Moore goes, "Yeah, I'm doing that media thing. So if you need me for anything, I'm definitely around." And then he said the same thing. I was like, "Well, I do a thing with Jonathan Casillas." And he goes, "Really? Well, oh, I know where JC is right now. I'm going to go right now over and talk to him." I was like, "I'm pretty sure that JC's not in the mood to talk to anybody about anything right now."
DeMontre Moore, before I knew the term crash out that all of these young kids are using, he was the crash out on the team.
Yeah,
and he literally had a crash out moment when he left New York, when he was leaving this past week, and he called me. He was like, "JC, I'm about to slap the shit out of this dude at Frontier Airlines." I was like, "Bro, do not DeMontre Moore at the airport. Do not do that."
Yeah,
he's a crash out, but he's doing really well. He's doing really well with the media. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, he's a good guy, and we said he's definitely one of the guys for her future episode that we would love to have him come on. As far as the game itself, look, Jackson Dart, to his credit, man, he stole the show on Saturday night. I really do feel that he signed every autograph for every fan that approached him that he was able to go sign. He was involved with everything. He's so damn competitive, that kid. Like he struck out from the softball pitcher the first time, and he was the only one. He went twice. He was like, "I got to do this. I got to hit it." So he went a second.
Did he get a hit off of her?
He did not. He did not get a hit off of her.
She was throwing heat. What's her name? I follow her on Instagram. Let me shout her out because she was like. First of all, I ain't gonna lie to you. When she was pitching. I looked. I said, "There's no way I'm gonna be able to hit that." Like I said, "There's no way I'm gonna hit that ball." So I went up and I'm just like, "All right, I'm gonna try my best." And I watched it like somebody got a still of me, like swinging the bat, The ball is here. My bat's like
Your bat's up here.
Like, I'm so far away from the ball.
If you guys want to know on how
whatsoever.
I was about to say, if you guys want a picture of what it was like for JC at bat, do you remember the movie Rookie of the Year?
Oh, is that with the kid?
When the kid goes up to bat, and then like that guy throws a pitch when it was a ball. The guy says ball 4, and then he swung. That was like
basically. Her name is Courtney Weish, and she plays for the New York Rise softball team. She's a current pro player.
Yeah,
you know, and then the catcher, what was her name? She was awesome. She goes, like, she looked at me like she only threw a fastball. That's what she said. She only threw a fastball. That's all it was. I said, how about just a tackle? How about we try that out? Let's see how that works.
See how that goes. Everybody's got their strengths.
Exactly.
You know, one of the things that Joe does at this game every single year is he puts the quarterback on the pitcher's mound, and he has a fan volunteer to come out and try. He goes, well, if you can tackle Jackson Dart, you'll get something for free. And then he takes the members of the offensive line and put it in front of Jackson Dart. By the way, you have to get past the offensive line.
That's right. That's right. Because if anybody even touches that guy, everybody in the front office will immediately shit themselves, right?
I mean, you want to see somebody get stomped out,
right? Yeah.
On national, I guess not national television, but there was so many cameras and videographers and camera phones there. It was basically on national television, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounded like it was a great event, though. Like, it raised a lot of money for charity. It, you know, had
over $100,000. $100,000, man. That's phenomenal. Something else. You know, we were laughing from the media side over there. We're like, because they were pulling the guys from the current roster over to us, and we had made a couple requests for some alumni players, and like nobody was coming over. And then finally, I just looked at like a couple of these guys who were getting upset that the alumni wasn't coming over. I said, they don't need to talk to us. Those guys, they did their time already. Like they did their time in purgatory. They don't have to deal with this anymore. Because like we requested like Bradshaw to come over, and Bradshaw didn't come over. We asked for a couple different guys because everybody wanted to get their opinion on the current team. And I get how frustrating that can be for them, because these guys, they're there to have fun and help raise money for a good cause. They don't want to get harassed by the media. Jackson obviously didn't talk to us. A couple people requested Malik, and Malik just flat out said, "I'm not talking to the media."
Yeah, he's got other stuff to worry about. He's got other things to focus on. Yeah.
Well, listen, we have not had a show since all the stuff with Dart went down with Trump, and I'm not going to. I don't think it's really necessary for us to jump into it, but I think one of the reasons why Carter and Dart and some of the higher level current guys didn't come over to talk with us at an event where there's no Giants PR to sort of protect them is because of that topic.
There's a bit of a firestorm. Yeah.
I could definitely.
But I see the picture I posted though. Go ahead, Ryan. Ryan, go ahead, because we haven't let you talk, Ryan.
Well, that's all right. Listen, I talk too much anyway, so it's fine if I just need to shut up today. But no, I mean, honestly, I think you're right, Rady. To a certain degree, there was a little bit of a kerfuffle in there, but I was reading something the other day that kind of rung true for me, and it was how the Giants have handled this situation has dramatically shortened the amount of time that this story has actually been a story, right? This is something where the media is the one that's making something of this, right? Yeah. Dart did something. Abdul said what he said on social media, and then it was the media that kind of blew it all up out of the water. And if you ask the guys in the locker room, if you ask other pro players, they're like, look, there are people in that locker room. We all know that there are people in that locker room that are of all kinds of different opinions, all kinds of different backgrounds. You got country-fed farm boys next to guys that lived in the projects, right? You got guys that were in suburbia. You've got this is me quoting, this is not me saying it myself, but black guys acting like white guys and white guys acting like black guys. You've got all this, everybody in this whole thing. It's not cookie cutter. You cannot find a football team in the NFL where everybody is all the same. So you're going to have those different opinions. You're going to have those different perspectives. And those guys, as they're coming up, they've played on teams like that. And they know how to take that personal stuff and put it in that personal place so that when it comes down to playing the game of football, they're playing the game of football. They don't give a fuck about your personal commitments. They don't give a fuck about your personal ideologies. It comes down to, can the guy next to you do what he's supposed to do on the ball field? And, I've never been in a locker room. JC, does that ring true to you? I mean, it seemed like it was a
100%.
decent perspective to me.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great take by you. You remember, guys, when you asked me about what's happening during this time of the year, you remember what I said? I said, no headlines. Remember that? I said, because any headline from here on out is not going to be good.
Right.
So this headline that came up and, the whole Trump, a dart with Trump, mind you, these guys are still rookies.
Yeah.
These two guys that we're talking about are still rookies. I still, just like every single body that played in the NFL, and they're going to say the same thing in 3 or 4 years when they become veterans, that rookies are dumb.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with their actual intelligence. We're not talking about that. It's just, you just don't know what you don't know, and you're in the New York market. You don't know the impact it'll have, not just on the team, but on the locker room, And I'm not saying that like it's an issue in the locker room. That's not what I'm saying. They just don't know the impact that it will have on the outside. And in New York, the outside is all that people care about right now because there's nothing else to talk about. There is no football being played. So that's the only thing they have. So they're going to make a big deal of it.
For sure.
So both of them, I don't think, I don't support Trump, right? I've never even voted in my life, guys. I'm not a political person at all. And I hate when people say, oh, why you don't vote? You should vote because you have the right to vote. And I say, who did you vote for and why? And the answer I hear from them, I'm like, I know more about politics than you. And I choose not to vote because that's my right not to vote. And you choose to vote because you don't even know how to explain that to me. You know what I'm saying? So for me, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, I stay away from politics. You know what I mean? I just stay away. I don't talk about it. I don't do that because I know what could happen on the other side of that. You'll get some people on your side. You'll get some people against you, and let's be honest. This is the most divisive president of my existence since I've been alive, since I've been paying attention to how the world works a little bit. He's the most divisive guy. So he's the guy that's like, you got to pick a side. And it's not like that in the locker room. Everybody's on the same team, literally and figuratively. So both of these guys, Abdul and Jackson, they're both young, and I don't think they realize the outside ramifications of their actions. Because inside the locker room, guys have, let's call it beef. This is not beef, but let's call it beef. Guys have beef, and they still go out there and play together and dap each other up on game day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it wasn't a big deal for inside the locker room, but I'm not inside the locker room, guys.
Sure.
I'm on the outside of the locker room. So I'm where you guys are sitting at now. And it's a big deal on the outside of the locker room.
Right.
But again, when you guys ask me, what do you expect from this time of the year? What's really happening? I said no headlines.
Yeah.
No headlines. Right. And then the stuff that we're hearing is negative. Now, on the other side of that side, Ryan, I'll let you talk.
Yeah.
On the other side of that, the great thing about this past weekend, it was only positive headlines because License Plate Guy did a great event. And I've been to several of them. And this is by far the best event that he's ever thrown. Raised a lot of money for a good cause. Stanley McGlover, Brian Burns' brother, he has an autistic son and all of that stuff with his foundation that Brian Burns worked with. Brian Burns is overseeing 3 different foundations, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
And yes, and one of them is the one with Stanley McGlover and his son. So this is a great cause. And that's the positive headlines that just, they kind of escape us, right? They don't get that much light on them. But I'm glad that a lot of light was shined for this great event this past weekend.
Yeah. Negativity often sells a lot better than positivity does, right?
That's it.
But, at the end of the day, I think another thing that helped this was also how Harbaugh was able to handle the situation. You take the guys, you put them in a room, you talk to them about, what everything's going to look like. They hug publicly. Everything's cool. Everything's good. Bam, you can stop with this nonsense now. The locker room is okay. And everybody now knows that any kind of fanning of the flames that's happening, it's happening on the outside in, not from the inside out.
Right now, Let's welcome in Ryan Dunleavy from the New York
Hey,
What's up, man?
Post.
yeah.
Ryan, first off, I think your mic is off, but first off, thanks for your patience. I know we got a little bit of a late start. There we go. And welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, first.
Guys?
Yeah,
welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me. I don't know if Jonathan remembers this. I covered a game or two of his in high school way back when. So,
wow.
Yeah,
A long time ago, brother.
at the old home news Tribune.
Home News Tribune. Very good.
We've both done a few things since then. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
That's what's up, man.
So, yeah, what's up? So good to see all you guys. What's up,
Same
JC? Listen to you. Were the headlines all good this weekend? I don't know. Malik Neighbors limping around on one leg. I don't know if that was a good headline, but
that was interesting. I don't know. I don't understand.
I appreciate his competitive spirit. I don't know that was a wise use of rehab time, but
I agree with you. Again, he's young too, like I saw him out there in the dodgeball game and I was like, what is he doing out there? I'm going to throw the ball and hit him in his chest.
Yeah. No, I get it. He's competitive. He wants to be, he wants to show his teammates that he's, all in or whatever. But like, they need you on the field for week 1, buddy. They don't need you on the field batting third in the softball game. So,
do you really believe that he'll be there for week 1 though? I mean, it seems like
I believe he'll be on PUP. I'll be stunned if he's not on PUP. But so that's 4 weeks now. It's not the old 6. I learned that today, but I will be stunned if he's not on PUP. So. That's not information. I'm not reporting that.
No.
That's just intuition.
Nobody watches the show anyway, brother. That's okay.
Hey, Ryan, quick question for you. Besides the Malik Neighbors, what did you think of the event this weekend, just as a whole? Just being able to see these guys outside of the building and just being able to see everybody converse, have a good time with the fans, and as well as with the alumni.
Like JC said, I think it was the best one by far. I thought it was the one the most current players showed up to, which I think is usually the alumni have a stronger turnout than the current players. I thought that was a show of respect for Brian Burns. I thought that was credit to how hard Brian Burns worked to rally people to this. And I thought that was a show of trust in license plate guy. And I think that was a show of how close this team is. Like JC was saying, it's a young team, doesn't know what they don't know. But on the heels of the Dart, Carter, Trump thing, I think it was good to see how many guys showed up and good to see how many guys. Look, guys, I'm a reporter, right? So I have my eye trained on everything, right? And one of the things I was looking at, in addition to how well is Malik Neighbors moving, is what's the reception with Jackson Dart. And the fans loved him. There was no, cold reception from the fans, and the teammates loved him. Nobody gave him a cold shoulder. They were all there. Like, he was high-fiving he was the quarterback of the softball team. So
yeah, he was.
So I think that was a good showing. Abdul Carter was there. Andrew Thomas was there. All the leaders were there. All the rookies were there. All the key players were there. So I think that shows you a young, close locker room.
Gunner was there. Gunner
was there on a scooter. Yeah.
which was absolutely crazy. Ryan,
Kayvon doesn't have a contract beyond this year. He was there. Like that to me, that shows you an all in.
Nacho was there. Rakeem
Nacho was there.
Nacho was there. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think he has a team. I think he's unsigned, right? I don't think did he
sign
anything?
He's in Tampa.
He signed Tampa. Yeah.
Oh, he went back to Tampa. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So he has another team, and he's showing up because of respect for Brian Burns. So
exactly.
Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was a great event. So
Ryan, we look at this team and what's coming forward for them. Obviously, we're finishing up OTAs this week, and we're going to be going into mandatory minicamp. Is
there going to be a big story at OTAs tomorrow, guys? Any idea?
I don't know.
Any idea if anybody will be making one-handed catches and then talking to the press after OTAs tomorrow? I think that might be a pretty big story tomorrow.
Might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
I'm just wondering, again, the receiving core is a big thing right now. That's gonna be, Ryan and I were joking earlier today. They're gonna bring in 35 receivers for camp. If you're a linebacker, there's a good chance you're making the team.
Yeah.
Real question is receivers. Ryan, what have you seen as far as the group you saw from last year on the last day of the season to this group that you have now? What is the major differences that you've seen so far?
Deeper, but the top end talent, I don't think is. I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson had back-to-back 90 catch seasons and 1,000 yards. I don't know who's filling that spot. And you said the end of the season. If I went to the beginning of the season, they had Malik Neighbors. They're not going to have Malik Neighbors at the beginning of the season. Darius Slayton's banged up right now. He was at the end of the season. So, like, right now, if they had to play a game tomorrow, and, obviously they don't, but if they did, it'd be what? Malachi Fields, Odell Beckham, Ryan Miller, Darnell Mooney, and Calvin Austin.
Calvin Austin. Yep.
Yeah, that's not a great receiving core. So, like, they need Slayton back. They need Neighbors back at some point. I think it's deeper because, like, Jalen Hyatt's probably not going to make this team. And obviously he was on the team the last couple years. Bo Collins made the original 53 last year. He's probably on the outside looking in. So it's obviously deeper. And I like that they have a lot of competition for roster spots. But I don't know that the receiving core is better. But that's not including Isaiah Likely because Isaiah Likely plays tight end. And I think we all expect Isaiah Likely to be a top 2 weapon on this team.
Do you expect the run game to play a much bigger part of the offense? And so does it matter as much that we don't have the high end talent to start the year? You've got
it does. Let me answer it for Ryan. As a defender, it does.
It does. It's a pass first league. You got to keep a defense. You got to keep a defense honest. And as much as you're going to run the ball, you're going to end up in teams still tell you they want to take away the run first. So, like, if they make you one dimensional, then you're going to be able to have to be able to pass the ball. And let's be honest, guys, like, it'd be nice if the Giants are in contention in December, but the number one thing you want to see is, like, you want to see Dart's development this year. Yeah. Yes. And, like, you need receivers for him to develop, because I think you have a good offensive line. Like, for years, it's like, do you spend on the offensive line or the receiver? The offensive line, I think he's going to be protected. Can guys get open?
And defensively, looking at this receiving core, no one scares me. And when no one scares you, that means you can bring an extra safety in the box. You can play 8 to 9 man boxes. And when you have 8 to 9 man boxes, it just makes running the ball against the defense that much more difficult. So yes, the run game will matter, but then also the defense that they play against the run game can give this offense, without the guy that scares you, to give this offense a lot of problems. Yeah. And then also taking away Dart's options to run the football in terms of called runs will be another limiting option in this offense. So it scares me a little bit that they don't have anybody that scares a defense right now on this starting offensive unit when week 1 starts. Because when Neighbors comes back, if he looks anything like he used to look, then that guy's back.
Things change.
But, a 33-year-old Odell Beckham Jr., I speak so highly of him. He's not that guy anymore. Is he a great receiver still? Absolutely. Does he put fear in people? Not as much as he used to. And when I look at this roster, Juju did back in the day. Matter of fact, they did it around the same time. 2018, 2019, Juju Smith-Schuster was one of the better receivers, number 2s in the league. Yeah. He had like 1,500 yards. Yeah. He was the MVP of the Steelers that year, and Antonio Brown got mad. Remember that year?
Yeah, I remember.
And since then, he's never really had one of those years again. And there's really nobody else on that offensive side of the ball that what we say as a defense would take the top off of coverage, right? Get that safety back, make sure he has to stay back for him. They don't have a guy like that. So
you don't think Austin or Mooney can be that?
No, no. I mean, they're
if
good
they-
receivers. Look, I'm not saying these guys aren't good. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Every single body on this roster, I think, are like, besides what you said, Wan'Dale Robinson and Malik Neighbors, besides those two, all of these guys are competitive. Like, they're all competitive, good, talented wide receivers. Wan'Dale has had his coming of his own. He had his coming out party the last couple of years, and he had a great, phenomenal season last year where he did scare some people because you have a guy on the outside, especially early in the season when Malik Neighbors is healthy. You got a guy on the outside that scares people, and sometimes Wan'Dale was matched up against a linebacker because that's how the defenses ended up rotating. And that's scary as a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? So without those two guys, everybody else are good receivers. I'm not taking anything for them. I'm talking about the threat of actually, somebody destroying your defense because of the talent level, because of the speed, because of the route running ability, the ability to create separation down the field. They just don't have that guy. Malachi Fields might be that guy, but he's young and he's not there yet. And I don't think he possesses and he doesn't possess that top end speed either. You know, so I look at this offense and I'm a little nervous that they don't have that guy. Right.
And let me say three things real quick. One, I do think if we're talking about the receiver core, I think one area this receiver core is better than last year's receiving core is run blocking receivers. Mooney has a reputation as a run blocking receiver. Fields is all over Jeremiah Love highlights blocking downfield. So I think they could be better as run blocking receivers. Two, to JC's point, I think they have guys who are capable of having a big game. Darnell Mooney, Calvin Austin. I don't know if week to week they're going to add up to 1,000 yards. Could Calvin Austin be this year's Wan'Dale Robinson, who has a coming out party? He could. He has the skills to do it. It sounds like he's having a great OTAs. He could. He's a guy I have my eye on. And then three, at some point before, it doesn't have to be now, but if I'm on this podcast with a former Odell Beckham teammate, I got to hear JC's opinion on, is Odell good for Malik Neighbors? Like, here's how I see it, JC. It's in tomorrow's New York Post newsletter. Is he the Odell who says to Malik Neighbors, hey, fame is fleeting, live it up, make your name for yourself, do the things I did when I was in my 20s, pee in the end zone, wave at the quarterback, make a name for yourself, fight the kick, fight the field goal net? Or is he the guy who says, hey man, I wish I never left New York. If I had to, I would do things a little differently, like learn from me, and I've been where you are in a rehab, and I've come out as a Super Bowl MVP at the end of it. Well, not an MVP, but he was going to be the MVP. He was so good in that game. So here's how you take a rehab. Is Beckham good for Neighbors or not good for Neighbors? Because Neighbors is already trending down the give me the damn ball diva receiver.
Yeah. Oh, he was that his rookie year.
Oh, yeah.
First game this season, he was yelling that
As
day
a
ball.
rookie, he questioned the play calling. Yeah. So he was already trending that way. So is Beckham good for him or not?
I think it's the latter. I think he's good for him because Odell comes back as an experienced veteran that been on the street. People passed him around a little bit. People didn't want him a little bit. That's a humbling thing. On top of that, he's a Super Bowl champion. On top of that, he's a father. He's in his 30s. He's not a 24-year-old kid that's fighting nets on the sideline and then the next week proposing to him after domestic violence the week before with the net. He's not that guy. You know what I mean? I think I've seen a level of maturity from him, and this is on the outside looking in. I was in the locker room with him back in the day, but from what I see from him now, I think I see a level of maturity that he did not possess when he was here in New York. I think he's still a rock star, but I don't think he's doing the same things that he used to do back in the day. The things that can be a little controversial, I don't think he's doing that anymore. I think celebrations, I think that's still a thing. I think he's still going to be able to celebrate that like anybody else, right? I think he's healthy for this team. I think he's magnificent for that wide receiver room, and especially for somebody like Malik Neighbors, who went to LSU, who Odell was probably his favorite receiver growing up.
He asked him for gloves when he was a kid. He DM'd OBJ and asked him for his receiver gloves, and OBJ never replied. And then and then Malik Neighbors got good at LSU, and Odell went to DM him, and he saw the message from like 5 years earlier from the kid. And he was like, I guess you don't need my gloves anymore.
But I do think he's healthy for this locker room. He's healthy for this team. Not only healthy, he's a boost. I think he gives a little bit of a boost. And of course, the media is all over him. All my timeline said all day long was OBJ's back in New York for the last 2 days now. Shoot, I posted him on my page, and I'm getting the most engagement I've had in a long time. So he's doing good for me too.
Yeah, he's good for business for everybody.
He's good for business, right?
There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
And by the way, something about just to backtrack about Wan'Dale Robinson from last season too. His numbers also came out of necessity because with Neighbors going down, Wan'Dale had to step into that number one spot, and he became the number one option for Jackson Dart and Jameis Winston when Winston was out there as well. So
but I've seen years I don't want to let's not discredit Wan'Dale. Like I've seen years where the number one receiver goes down and nobody steps up.
Yeah, right.
Like it's like there's a necessity. And there was a year that one of the years I was covering the Giants, their leading receiver had like 520 yards. There was a year last year, Garrett Wilson played 7 games for the Jets and ended up as their leading receiver. He played 7 games and led the team in receiving because no one stepped up. So
they also had Justin Fields at the quarterback position. Let's put that in there. But just saying.
Like of course, there's a year that JC hates when we bring this year up. In 2017, we lost all the receivers, and you were bringing people in off the street to play receiver at that point. Yeah. So again, there's been a lot of different things.
The Giants are so far away from that, though.
Yeah,
at
least
they're like, this is going to be probably the hardest room to make cuts in, because Slayton's in, we know that. Hurt Neighbors is in, we know that. And now it's like, all right, who's number 3, right? Let's say these
Mooney
guys,
because of his contract.
Right, because of his contract, right? And then Calvin Austin, right? But like, is Isaiah Hodgins even in the mix? Like
Is Hyatt got to be in there? Is Hyatt in the mix?
Yeah, I don't think that's a question, Ryan.
No, I don't think.
You think he's out?
They already packed his bags. It's just
listen.
It's already
we
packed.
try, Ryan. Nobody respects players more than me, But for me, it's like you got to prove something. You've been in the league for a significant amount of time.
Yep.
And when he's on the field, Ryan, he's a detriment to the team.
Yes, agreed. But you also know this. You fought you were a late round pick or you were undrafted?
I was undrafted, bro.
I thought so. You fought for everything you had. Mm-hmm. He's a 3rd round pick. They don't give up on 3rd round picks easy. Like Harbaugh might, but if Brian Daboll was still the coach and Joe Shane was the GM, I would not rule out Jalen Hyatt because they invested in him. John Harbaugh might say, I didn't invest in him.
Yeah, so, you got to show something, because at the end of the day, when you're here, unless you're a top draft pick, like Malachi Fields ain't going nowhere, right? He's a top draft pick, right? And he's going to get a cushion just like Hyatt got a cushion. He might have a few years.
He got a 3-year cushion.
Nothing, they might hang on to him for 1 or 2 more years. Yeah. But when you're, in a 3, 4, 5th year, it don't matter where you were drafted, right? Especially we got a new regime here. Yeah, Joe's still here, but Joe, his, I think, decision-making power has been drastically reduced, and Harbaugh coming in, I think, the writing's on the wall for Hyatt, and I think he has talent, but bro, I just haven't seen him play good football at all. I haven't seen it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I always hear the players know, and you can't fool the players. So, like, if the locker room knows that he's not one of the 7 best guys, then it doesn't matter if Joe Shane wants to keep him. They're not going to be able to sell it to the other 52 guys. That to me, JC, on the outside was a problem last year when they kept keeping Evan Neal and cutting other guys. Is the other 52 guys were like, wait a minute, why are we cutting that guy?
Right.
This guy is here.
This guy's been a healthy scratch for however many games, right? I mean,
2 years,
and then
bro. 2 years. 2
years.
years.
Yeah. You know what I do like, though? I mean, and I'm beating the drum on this again. I just like the fact that we've got so much. We do have a lot of talent in that wide receiver room, right? We're giving a ton of guys another chance. We're giving a ton of guys the same opportunity across the board to go into OTAs, to go into camp, and to prove what you've got, right? And so let's say I think they're giving an opportunity for people to surprise them, right? So if Hyatt goes in there and just knocks their socks off, I'm not saying it's going to happen, right? But if he goes in there and knocks their socks off, there may be more of an opportunity than we're giving him credit for, right?
Sure.
But when you've got iron sharpens
I didn't
iron,
think
right?
Bo Collins was going to make the team last year, and he came out of nowhere, so it can happen.
There you go. So, I mean, look, the cream is going to rise to the top because it has to. In a room like that, you're going to have it. You said it before, JC. You're going to have a really hard time cutting that room down to 6 guys, right? And I mean, we might even carry 7. That's a lot of receivers, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, you've got 6 guys, and you've got a lot of talent that you can pick from out of those 6 guys, and that's a good problem to have. Right? It's a much better problem, a much better situation to be in than if you're trying to pull off of the midden heap and hope for a miracle that somebody's going to come out of nowhere and actually, be better than you expect them to be.
And I also want to throw the name out there. We said it before, Ryan. Evan Neal is on his last leg with this this team. What have you saw? You've been there a little, been around the team a little longer than I have. During this offseason, of course, last season too, with him being a healthy scratch, it's all or nothing now for Evan Neal.
It's nothing. He's a 3rd-team offensive lineman in OTAs. He's on the 3rd-team offensive line. 3rd-team offensive linemen don't make the 53.
The 53.
And there's nothing to see right now from linemen anyway. Besides where they're at on the depth chart. Because you could see. You might get beat here and there, but it's totally different on the interior, on the line from D-line and O-lineman when you put those pads on. So, look, I think he's a phenomenal talent at that position, no matter where you put him at, guard or tackle. But you got to prove it. You have to play good football when your name is called. And, there's a couple guys, and I think the 3 that we know, we talked about 2. The other one is Banks.
Hey, Banks.
You have to play good football when you're out there, and that's just it. And they all have another opportunity to play good football this year. They have an opportunity because they're still on the roster. They're going to play in the preseason, and that's their chance to prove it. Limited plays, but they're going to be out there. And especially and how it's evolved into this game, Ryan, where it's not 4 preseasons, it's 3 preseasons. So how many snaps are the actual starters playing? The young guys are going to get a lot of playing time. They're going to have a big sample size to be able to see what these guys can do. Yes, it's not going to be against the greatest competition, but you don't have to show that you can excel against the greatest competition. You just got to show that you can play football.
Right.
That's what you got to show. These guys haven't showed that. That's the craziest thing about those 3 guys because they're all high draft picks. Maybe not Hyatt. Banks is the 3rd round,
and they traded up.
3rd round's high enough. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I'll take that. But those 2 other guys are 1st-round draft picks. The Giants' first pick to those drafts.
Yeah.
And they just haven't played good football on a consistent basis. We've seen flashes, especially from Evan Neal early in his career, and Banks his rookie year. We've seen him being. We thought that we got a guy, right? We all thought that Banks was a great player. Can we turn it around? I'm not giving up on them yet until I watch them play football again. Yeah. When I watch them play football, I make my decision.
I would not give up on Banks yet. Do I think he's a starting corner in this league? I do not. But do I think he's a useful player in this league? Yes, and that's not my opinion. I don't ever pretend to be a football expert, but I know I have sources who are football experts, former players, coaches, scouts, executives, etc. They tell you Deonte Banks can still play in this league. He just needs to be in a simpler. Yeah,
I agree with you. But like you said, you were about to say it too, a simpler defense, a simpler package, maybe not thinking so much. But again, he still has to go out there and play good football when his number's called. That's all he got to do. Because the kid, first of all, the kid's a big corner. He's not that tall. Like he's not like 6'3" or anything like that. But he's big. He's solid. Like he looks like a running back. You know, so he's very explosive. His ball skills are pretty horrible, but he can cover and pretty much cover anybody.
Yeah.
Try.
Just turn your head.
Just turn your head. Right.
He has, I think, a tremendous skill set for the cornerback position. But again, you have to play ball when your number is called. Sure. And he's going to get another opportunity. Fingers crossed, because the Giants need good corner play.
For sure.
That's what they've drastically needed. Yeah, that's the right word.
They
needed that for years now. You know, in 2016, when our defense was ranked number 2, we had really good cornerback play.
Yeah, right.
Really good cornerback play. And
you had a first-round pick who didn't start at corner, right? Because you had DRC and Rabbit, and you had a first-round pick who didn't even start. Now, first-round pick is like instant. Colton Hood's a starter. He's not even a first-round pick.
Well, Ryan, I had a conversation with DRC, and Eli Apple did start. He did.
Over DRC?
They bumped DRC in.
Oof.
Oh, that's why DRC was upset. He was salty. He was a little salty, you know what I'm saying, with the coaches. But even though, Ryan, I've talked about Eli Apple plenty of times. He's one of the only teammates that I felt like I wanted to punch him in his face. Like he's like one of the only ones.
But then they did it again with DeAndre Baker. So,
but listen, when he was young, Eli Apple was a good player. Yeah, he was good. He wasn't bad. He was not a bad player. People talk about him and all of that. Bro, I watch film every game. Eli Apple was not bad. He was just a young, dumb rookie, but he was tall. He was lanky. He made a lot of plays. He made a lot of good plays on the ball. But then, you know, he was Eli Apple. You know, so he ended up being him. But like the point I was trying to make, we had 3 very good serviceable corners.
Sure.
You know, and somebody like you said, Ryan, it was DRC kind of, and it was Eli Apple. But that's a good problem to have when you have 2 tall corners that we're seeing who's the better one. Jack Rabbit was getting paid $13 million a year, so he was going to be on the field regardless. But that problem now, we really don't have that. And Paulson Adebo comes over last year. He had a pretty subpar year.
Yeah.
You know, so the Giants need good cornerback play. Adebo needs to play well. Banks needs to be serviceable if he makes this team.
I know a lot of people around the league are high on Hood, and I don't think Hood will fall into the dumb rookie category. I think Hood is a pretty cerebral guy. That's my understanding is on and off the field. Hood gets it. So
nice.
I have high hopes for Colton Hood. I think he could be the best corner they've drafted in a very long time.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So, I mean, you're looking then
now. Can they do the DRC thing to Greg Newsome? Is my question. Can they? Not that I have anything wrong with Drew Phillips, but could they kick Greg Newsome inside, and then you get your top 3 corners on the field?
Yeah, but I mean, think about what we're talking about here. Now you're talking about if we can get Tay Banks to play up to his potential, and I think Denard Wilson's system does suit him a lot better than the previous ones. So if he's able to kind of get his shit together a little bit, right, and start to play up to his potential. Now
but he's still the 4th corner.
He's still the 4th corner. That's my point. So you're talking Paulson Adebo, who is not bad. You're talking about Greg Newsome, who is not bad. You're talking about Drew Phillips, who is not bad. And then your 4th guy is Tay Banks, who's a high-round draft pick who's starting to get his shit together. I mean, I think that's not terrible. At the very least, you're talking about a guy in Tay Banks that can disrupt timing of a route. You're talking about a guy that can press man all day long, right, and stay with receivers when he's on them, right? That system is built for a guy like him. So I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too glasses half full.
No, the depth is better all around on the team. The depth, the offensive line's the best it's been since before JC was there, since the Super Bowl. Like the depth. I mean, Josh Azudu used to be like the 6th man for the offensive line. He's like the 10th man now. Like we just talked about the corners. We talked about the receivers. Like the depth all around this team is much better than it's been. I've been doing this since 2018 was my first year. The depth is much better than it. The depth is much better than it's been.
Ryan, I have to bring up the question about Kayvon Thibodeau. Again, how close was there a deal either before the draft or around the draft? How close was there a trigger being pulled to move Kayvon Thibodeau, or even before the Dexter deal? Because there was a lot of talk because of the moves that they were making that Kayvon may not be in the big picture moving forward.
So how close? If somebody gave the Giants a day 2 draft pick, Kayvon Thibodeau wouldn't be here. So, so as close as that. I mean, nobody did, so he's here. The Giants didn't budge, and the counterparts, who I believe were the Saints, were the leading among them, but there were others, didn't budge. So so in that regard, not close, because no, they didn't meet each other in the middle. But if somebody had given them a second or third round pick, he would have been gone.
Yeah.
They weren't, desperately holding him, but they weren't giving him up for cheap either. I asked him, look, guys, this is in tomorrow's post too. I asked him at the softball game, I said, look, you don't have a contract beyond this year. You're going to be fighting for, snaps with a loaded edge group here. Did you think about holding out? This is the business of the game. So, did you think about holding out? Did you think about trying to force a trade? Giants fans are going to love this, okay? He said, I mean, shit, So, yes, he was saying, yes, he thought about it.
Sure.
But, of course, I love the Giants. I'm happy to be here. I'm not too worried about the logistics. It'll take care of myself. Was there a doubt that I wasn't going to play ball? No. And here's the part that I love. I love it too much to sit out. I'd rather play and bet on myself and see what's to come from that than sit out and let somebody else make the decision for me. So that's to me,
a great answer. That's a great
That's
answer.
a grown-up Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't think he would have said that 3 years ago. that's a grown-up Kayvon Thibodeau, and that's somebody who sees his path to a better contract, to winning and playing well. And to do that, he's going to be here during OTAs, and he's not going to complain about the fact that he's with Burns and Thibodeau, Burns and Carter. He's going to he's going to find a way on the field, and he's going to get single teamed, and he's going to try to capitalize on it.
What's he got to do to earn a second contract? I mean, when you've got limited playing time, or a little bit more limited, depending on how well they rotate everybody in. What does success look like for a Kayvon Thibodeau that's going to get him that second contract?
JC would answer this better than I do. I think he's the best run-stopping edge they have. And I don't think that was the case early in his career. I think he's gotten much better at that. So that, I think, matters. And then sacks get you paid, right? We all know that, right? Sacks get you paid. So 7, 8, that 7, 8, that nowadays 7 or 8 sacks get you like $18 million, $20 million a year.
I got 3 words, guy. Ryan. Both of the Ryans, 3 word, double-digit sacks. That's what gets you paid in the NFL. That's what gets you, because there's no questions. There's no am I going to stay or not?
Yeah.
Or am I going to get paid or not? You're going to get paid.
Yes.
It's if the Giants can afford to pay you if you get double-digit sacks.
Yes.
That's the question to ask.
Yes, it's a good point.
Yeah. And the answer is probably no, but that's okay. That's okay. He goes somewhere else and gets paid. That's okay.
Yeah. And when's the trade deadline? It was way later than I thought.
November 3rd.
November 3rd. So he'll have enough time to kind of tell
but
us.
The John, I write the same article every Columbus Day. I write here's 10 candidates for the Giants who could be traded, or 5 candidates who could be traded. I don't want to write that this year. There's no reason that on November 3rd the Giants shouldn't be 4-5, 5-4. They shouldn't be sellers. I don't think they're a playoff team, but I think they're an in the mix team. So they go 3, 4, 5, 6 are the Titans, Cardinals, Saints, and Commanders. Why can't they go 3-1 there? And if they go 3-1 there, they're not going to be sellers.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point. Yeah, fair. You'd hate to see somebody like that. If we're not going to retain, you'd hate to let him go for nothing. Right.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that. I agreed with that. I agreed with that when they're a 2-8 team, letting Saquon Barkley go for nothing, or when they a 2-8 team and they're trading for Leonard Williams. But I don't agree with if they're a 4-5 team and you keep your guy and you lose him for nothing, then so be it. You were in the mix.
That's true. You were in the mix. Yeah. Fair point. Yep.
Yeah, it's a little bit different when you say those other names in this situation too. But Giants, culturally, historically, the Giants have multiple pass rushers. That's their path to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
So if Kayvon is a guy that, let's say he stays underneath the double-digit sacks and he's not that expensive and the Giants can keep him, I think they will.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I think they will.
That's
I think
the best case scenario.
That's what you want, Denard Wilson, I wouldn't give him up. Like if we can, like, let's spend a little bit extra on a guy that understands how to play football in this league. Because Kayvon knows how to play football. He's been a high snap guy. Yes, his production is not always great, but he does a lot of things right. I'm pretty sure he grades out well, very consistently. And when you can trust a guy, which I think Kayvon is a trustable guy, you want that guy on your team. You know, he's a veteran presence, like Ryan said. He's very mature now. He's had the critique over the last few years of his career. He's battle tested. He's hardened. He's calloused. And you want a guy like that. You know, he brings a lot of weight and experience and also consistency playing the run and the pass. Now, for me, the whole thing, if he get double-digit sacks, now I was just like, all right, could we afford to keep the guy? You know, could we afford to keep the guy? But if he stays under that number, I think they keep him. I think you keep him on the team because, you know, you don't trade him because you want pieces on defense, because that's how the Giants win Super Bowls, guys. Harbaugh understands that. He knows exactly which team he is coaching. The New York Football Giants. And the Giants win Super Bowls because of their defense with multiple pass rushers. It's historic. It's stamped. It's never going to change. The time we were good in 2016, we had the number 2 ranked defense. We had good corners and we had good pass rushers.
I would say this too. Talking to people in the Ravens and formerly in the Ravens strongly value keeping their own, not just for a sense of like fanship or consistency, but because continuity. Thank you. But because the locker room sees that they reward their own guys, and the Dave Gettleman and Joe Shane Giants are terrible at keeping their own guys. So keeping Kayvon would say to Colton Hood or say to Malik Neighbors or say to John Michael Schmitz, like, if I play well here, they reward me for that. And right now, the locker room does not believe that. So
and Ryan, too, with that, too, guys don't want to leave, and they might take a little less money to stay on a team that they say, I don't want to fucking go nowhere. I want to stay right here where I'm at. Yes,
especially if I have kids.
Exactly. I want to be right here because we're building something special. That adds an extra element, and it'll help you, and you don't have to break the bank with guys that maybe are not the top tier free agent, but is on that second level, and they take third level money to stay here in New York.
Yep.
We have Ryan Dunleavy from the New York Post here. Ryan, we want to before we get you out of here, we'd definitely like to have you take part in our trivia, which we do.
It's trivia.
Producer Ryan,
you're in for it now, Dunleavy. Buckle up, dude.
Buckle up. It's game time. Who was the first New York Giants player to also to play in Major League Baseball?
Major League Baseball.
Was
it
the first Giants player?
Yeah. Yep.
I've never heard of two of these guys. So
and it's not Bo Jackson. So
I'm pretty sure Bo didn't play for the Giants. Did Jim Thorpe play for the Giants?
I'm gonna say B. Steve Filipowicz.
I'm gonna go with the other guy. I don't have any fucking clue who he is. Ox Eckhart. I'm gonna go with that guy. C.
And I'm trying to think if Jim Thorpe played for the Giants. I don't remember his name.
I don't think he did. No.
I don't think he did.
Because the Giants do a good job in showing all the great historical players all over the place.
I'm gonna go C with that C guy. Yeah.
I'm gonna go B guy. So we're between B and C guy. B guy and C guy. I'm gonna go B guy.
Split it.
Producer Ryan, what do we got?
Yeah.
No way!
I fucking knew it. God damn it.
Oh my Lord, Jesus!
Really? Am I tripping?
Next week we have.
I'm googling it. I'm sorry.
I'm
checking. Fact checking.
Next week we have to have a question from this century, please.
That was good.
Wait,
21 games.
It's a different Jim Thorpe,
isn't it? Oh, so we've been bamboozled. We've been hoodwinked.
Yes, it is Jim Thorpe, but it's not that.
God.
But
Not
it's not
the
the
Jim
Jim
Thorpe.
Thorpe.
Not the Jim Thorpe. Gotcha.
Stern, I'm
is
going
a-
to kick you in
it-
the balls next time I see
It
you.
looks like this might be a white. It looks like this might be a white kicker. So
Oh.
yeah,
that's not Jim Thorpe.
unless I'm wrong, it looks like a different Jim Thorpe. Unless I'm wrong.
Oy,
that
hey.
says that makes it a lot better. It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Ryan, real quick, can you let everybody know where they can find you on social?
Am I wrong? I might be. Maybe it is the same. Maybe it is the same Jim Thorpe. No, I think it is.
He's going to be up all night with this.
I'm looking it up right now because I'm embarrassed.
There's never been a more discrepancy in a question on our. I
looked it up. Come on, this is some bullshit, Ryan. He played 3 games for the Giants in 1925. What are we doing?
3 games.
Again,
what are we doing?
Can we have a question from this century, please?
So it is
It's 1925, bro.
So it is the running back. It is the Hall of Fame running back, Jim Thorpe.
I guess so.
Yeah,
3
it
games. Now we're all kicking you in the balls. Stern.
Yeah, no. So that's on me. It's the same Jim. It's the same Jim Thorpe. Okay.
All right. Hey,
you can't.
I didn't know he was also a kicker. I didn't realize he was also a kicker. So.
I'm telling you, Dunleavy, this is what trivia does to us, man. So
every week something else comes up.
You've been through the gauntlet, though, my man. Congratulations.
Thank you for talking to us, brother.
That's it. It was just that. It was just that one question.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Just the one. That's all we can handle.
Thought you were going to give me something from the, from the 21st century here.
We were just as shocked as you are. That was the question this week.
But it is the same Jim. It is the same Jim Thorpe. That's on me.
So. Good stuff. Ryan, real quick, let everybody know where they can find you on social.
At RY Dunleavy, first 2 letters of Ryan, my whole last name, on X, on Instagram, on all the likes, and obviously nypost.com has tons of Giants coverage every day. So
cool. Well, Ryan, we'll probably see you probably next week or whenever mandatory minicamp starts. I know that that's where I'll be around next. And,
I'll be there. I'll be there tomorrow for the Odell show and then for mandatory minicamp.
What time is practice tomorrow?
Practice starts at 12:15. Players talk at 2:45.
I might try to make it in tomorrow.
All right. I'll see
you
there.
I might try to make it tomorrow too. Hey. All right. All right, Ryan, thanks again.
It's gonna be. There's gonna be a crowd. I can tell you that. He always draws a crowd.
Love it.
So, all right.
All right, guys.
Brother. Well, that was
good stuff.
Stern, that question, I got to tell you, brother.
We'll be hearing about that one for a while.
Oh God, it's gonna be there for a while. Real quick,
good stuff.
Well, this is usually the part of the show where we promote LPG's game. We have nothing to promote right now.
Well, we have something to promote.
We do have something to promote because this weekend we have this Saturday.
That's right.
Mr. Casillas, there it is. Good.
Yeah, that's the link. That's the link.
Lights, camera, action, brother. Go to it.
Yeah, man. So we got Jonathan Casillas Forward Progress Camp. This is our 11th year doing it at the New Brunswick Middle School, which is formerly my old high school. So it's definitely a bit of nostalgia every time I walk into that building. We have life skills courses in the morning, and we have the on-field stuff in the afternoon. Saturday's camp is an all-day camp. You can register on forwardprogresscamp.com. It's an inclusive camp. We have girls there. We have self-contained kids there. We have neurodivergent kids there as well. And then on Sunday, this is where the competition is. We got 8th graders all the way to 12th graders. And this is a paid camp that they come to. We do a combine style camp where we have laser time 40s, short shuttles, 3-cone drills, a whole bunch of NFL coaches coming in, NFL players, current and former NFL players, high school coaches. It's exciting. For me, I've been working hard at it. I was at 3 schools today, 4 schools on Friday, just kind of putting my last little push to making sure my kids registered. Was on a couple of calls, 3 calls today for the camp. So it's been a busy day, busy week. But I'm looking forward to this weekend, man. It's going to be special.
Awesome.
And we'll be there with you, brother.
Somebody
Oh no!
Bert's trying to get snuffed out. He's trying to
Look who I'm talking to. Look who's there. Prince.
Oh,
Prince
yeah.
right there.
Love it.
So how Prince on my team, right?
Mhm.
And I hear him in the background saying, after I watch the ball go, he says, that was a strike. I'm like, Prince, you're on my team. Like, that's
By the
Prince. Like, bro, you're on my team. What are you talking about?
But JC, the other part of the game where everybody was, she was throwing the heat.
Got on my boy Espo.
What's up, Espo?
Hey, JC, the moment of the night where everybody was just held their breath and gasped was when Scadaboo did the backflip. Everyone was just like,
none of the players cheered for him. They were all like, why would you do that?
Why? What is wrong with you?
Why would you do that?
A collective asshole type thing.
Yo, he's really insane. Like, he is insane, yo.
You should
He
have
nailed the
heard us.
backflip, though.
Oh, he did.
10 out of 10.
He looked good.
10 out of 10.
Listen,
Mhm.
one writer who will remain nameless looked at me and he goes, "Well, that was a fucking stupid idea."
Yeah.
He's insane.
Yeah.
Well,
It is what it is.
So he can
guys,
carry the rock.
You know, it was funny. Before we went on the air, we're like, we're going to make this a very short show, and it turned into an hour and 6 minutes.
I don't even know why we say it anymore.
Seriously. For Jonathan Casillas, Ryan Darlington, I'm Randy Zellea. We'll see you next week here on the Big Blue Report as the Odell Watch 2026 continues, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you then.